Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today we finished a suspension revalve on this 2023 KTM 350XCF. This shock was revalved to our JBI suspension Moto Spec and also received our JBI suspension WP bladder kit upgrade. This individual has two motorcycles. He has one dedicated off-road bike, and then he has this 350 XCF, which this rider primarily will be riding on the motocross track, but he said he will be riding it out sometimes on the trails. So that's why he went with the XCF model to utilize the larger fuel tank, knowing that he would get the suspension revalve to a motocross spec. And that is what we did here today. 2023 is a new generation of bikes for KTM. Features a new chassis, a new shock absorber design, and a host of all other upgrades. We've been doing a lot of testing for the past 9 months on the new KTM platform, and we've been documenting a lot of that on our YouTube channel as well. If we're talking about the 2023 KTM 350XCF, the stock suspension on it is actually quite good for off-road riders. Most off-road riders are very pleased with the stock settings of these shocks. For the ones that are quite fast and aggressive, the settings may be a little bit on the soft side, but still very rideable. But again, for this individual, they wanted a motocross setup, and that is what we built here for them. I'm really pleased with the settings that we have developed for these new 23 KTM bikes. It definitely took a little bit of effort, but with that effort came some very good results. This individual also purchased our JBI suspension WP AER 48, aka Exact 48 DIY kit for the forks, and we'll be shipping this shock back with that DIY kit for them to install themselves. And that kit has been built specifically to match the shock setting we put inside of this shock. So it'll be a motocross spec on the kit, custom built to them, the riding and the preferences that we discussed earlier on the phone. I'm really appreciating the hand adjusters that they have on these new shocks. It makes for adjustments a little bit easier, and they can still be adjusted with tools as well. Our JBI bladder kits have come together really well. I started developing these back in 2022. We went ahead and had our own bladders made for this specific shock on our previous bladder kits for the older Gen WP shocks. We still utilize a Honda CRF bladder because it was pretty much the perfect size and surface area and volume for that style shock, but that bladder is not the ideal size and surface area and volume for this new shock. So at Ride JBI, we went ahead and had our own bladder made this time, which we're really pleased that we did. Took a little bit of effort to have a custom mold made, do some test fitments and all that stuff, but all that paid off. We're really pleased with how our new bladder kits are functioning and with how they look as well. Ride JBI has tested, tuned, and developed suspension settings for all types of riding, whether it's the various types of off-road riding, motocross, supercross, arena cross, or freestyle. Ride JBI has settings for you. If you'd like Ride JBI to do your suspension, please give us a call or send us an email. We'll discuss the year, make, and model bike that you have, what options are available, and which setup would be most advantageous for you. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.